Hello and thanks for joining us. This is The World Now on TVC News. Let's begin in Afghanistan, where the Taliban have banned women from universities, sparking international condemnation and despair among young people in the country. The Higher Education Minister announced the regression on Tuesday, saying it would take immediate effect. The ban further restricts women's education. Girls have already been excluded from secondary schools since the Taliban returned last year. There is more in the following report.
Afghanistan's Higher Education Ministry has said that female students will no longer be allowed access to the country's universities until further notice. A letter confirmed by a spokesperson for the Higher Education Ministry on Tuesday instructed Afghan public and private universities to suspend access to female students immediately, in accordance to a cabinet decision. The spokesperson for the ministry, Ziaullah Hashimi, who tweeted the letter, confirmed the order to several news agencies.
What it is, it's clearly another...
UN spokesman Stephanie Dujarric described the move as troubling.
We have seen, since their takeover, and also in the past months, just a lessening of the space for women, not only in education, but access to public areas, their non-participation in the public debate. It's another very troubling move, and it's difficult to imagine how a country can develop, can deal with all of the challenges that it has without the active participation of women.
We understand
the announcement came as the United Nations Security Council met in New York on Afghanistan. The United States and British UN envoys both condemned the move during the council meeting.
Until they respect the rights of all Afghans, especially the human rights and fundamental freedoms of women and girls. We will continue to work with this council to speak with one voice on this issue.
The Taliban has defended its decision, saying such restrictions have been done to preserve national interests and women's honor. Earlier in the year, the Taliban had suspended secondary education for women. Several Taliban officials said the secondary education ban is only temporary, but they have also wheeled out a litany of excuses for the closure, from a lack of funds to the time needed to remodel the syllabus along Islamic lines. It has also restricted women from most fields of employment, ordered them to wear head-to-toe clothing in public, and banned them from parks and gyms.
Terrorist groups
The UN Secretary General Special Representative for Afghanistan said the closure of schools has undermined the Taliban administration's relationship with the international community.
There is no significant visible political opposition to the Taliban inside Afghanistan. The exiled politicians of the Republic are, of course, vocal critics, but they are fragmented and their statements have decreasing resonance for the population inside Afghanistan. The Taliban reject the need for any sort of intra-Afghan dialogue and claim that their government is sufficiently representative.
Meanwhile, Obaidullah Bahir, founder of Let Afghan Girls Learn campaign, said the move is like a recurring nightmare stretching over generations. The decision came as many university students are sitting for end-of-term examinations. The country has been reeling from a humanitarian crisis, with more than half of the population facing hunger amid Western-imposed sanctions, as well as the freezing of humanitarian aid and nearly $10 billion in Afghan central bank assets.